Hello guys and welcome to the final day of the World Cyber Games 2019 live from Xi'an, China, where it is time for the final that all of these people in this building have been waiting for, Todd. I know they had a lot of esports today, but this is the one final. Why they're here?
Oh yeah, we've been waiting for this one. Both players have been on an absolute tear. Both TH and Infi just played incredible the whole tournament. In particular in the semifinals, you know, we mentioned those were all going to be rematches. We got the two rematches where the games had been the best in the round robin. They weren't the best in the semifinals. No. They were pretty one-sided. Both players on absolute fire, and it only makes sense here that the two world's best players would meet in the grand finals in what I hope will deliver here in terms of a grand finals. It's going to be a best-of-3 human versus human, as far as I know at least, unless something crazy happens and they want to play something different, but this should be really good.
With TH, you never know, right? And obviously, Todd, this is also a chance for both these guys to follow in the footsteps of Sky.
Yeah.
Win their second WCG gold medal. TH can actually become the back-to-back champion, even though the last tournament he won was roughly 6-7 years ago. But it still counts as a back-to-back. And Infi, of course, got that amazing victory in 2009. And let's not forget what happened in that final, Todd, when he left game one after like 3 minutes, and he still ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, Infi's really good at not letting things affect him when it's like that. So usually he's one of the few players like where it's going. If it's going really bad, you shouldn't read too much into it. He's still going to be playing his best in the next game, not in that one game, because obviously he leaves pretty quickly. But yeah, they've both been again so impressive, and they came back really strong in those two semifinals. Infi was against Hawk, he was the only player that he had lost to in the round robin, and he just looked like he was on another level. Like he honestly made it look like that was completely one-sided. Whereas TH, he had just lost to Moon the day prior. I love how it's like, you know, the rematch, and he's the player that lost really that comes back with the revenge too in this case. And TH just looked same thing that he had adjusted perfectly. I would say though, I think in human Infi has looked better.
Yeah,
obviously he's looked extremely good against Hawk in the rematch. He did lose the first series, but other than that, he's been the more impressive player. He toppled the round robin.
Yep, and don't forget that he obviously beat TH in the group stage as well, right? Yeah. To be on top, since he only had one loss, like you pointed out. I mean, both these guys, they did kind of just stand above the rest in this tournament. A lot of people in this building, even though we're in China and they love the Chinese Warcraft, we're actually cheering for Moon. A lot of people really want to see Moon finally win that gold medal, but to be honest, Moon simply wasn't on the level of the other two. Like, Moon is still a legend. He's an absolute star, a god in this game. But this weekend, it was all about Infi and TH.
Absolutely. I'm sure he'll be back stronger. That's the good thing about Moon, you know. Like
there's always next year, Moon.
Yeah, I don't expect him to stop playing anytime soon. I mean, he's still one of the best. He's one of the biggest names in the game. And actually, the crowd around him was like, that was like magical. They were chanting Moon, Moon. Like there's some of these videos going on out there. It's been pretty incredible to follow. But yeah, after all of these days, it really feels like the two players that played the best so far are meeting one another in the grand finals. And this is a matchup that we've seen in the past happen a couple times, and I feel like Infi usually gets the better end of TH here, as we have the both players enter the stage. They don't exchange flags this time.
A little hog as well. I mean, obviously both these guys, they go way back. Whether they're super close friends or not, they have known each other, Todd, for pretty much half of their lives, or even more at this point. These are guys that were around in 2005, 2006. Obviously, I think they kind of hit their stride in 2007, 2008, 2009. But even that field, that's over 10 years ago. It is crazy how these guys are still on top. We said it before. Both these guys already won a gold medal once upon a time. You know, Infi has kind of been my pick throughout the weekend, Todd. I really felt like he was the guy who was going to take it home all, and everybody else, like a lot of people at least, told me TH. But it seems like after that stunning performance in the semi-final yesterday, a lot of people are on the Infi hype train right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like he's looked more impressive in general. You can't count TH out though.
No,
he came back so much stronger after losing that one series against Moon in the next day that I feel like it might be the same here. He might be coming back with a revenge. Very well prepared. He's had a whole day to really think about this here, how he was going to go about playing against Infi, who Infi in the other semi-finals was facing a human, so that's extra content that TH gets to study from. But obviously in those games, Infi simply played standard, didn't make a single like that was about as flawless as I've ever seen a human being played from him.
The one thing that really stands out to me about Infi's play throughout this tournament is that he's decisive as hell. He's so clutch. He doesn't second guess himself. He takes creep cams away where you're like, whoa, are you really creeping that far away from your own base, this close to your opponent? He gets away with it. And even if he gets creep checked, I don't know how he always does it, but it seems like he solves it and he turns it around almost, where it's like, all right, you're not trapping me here with the creeps. I'm trapping you with the creeps. And then suddenly things go into his way. Either way, this should be an amazing grand final. The first map is going to be played on Amazonia, as you guys can see. Ancient Isles, once again, Todd. We barely saw it in the first 2 days. We saw it yesterday, and we see it again here.
I'm a little bit surprised. I guess it's mirror at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter as much, but Ancient Isle usually would be one of the maps that you might veto a lot of the time.
It's not even a ladder map, right?
Yeah, in the other matchups, no, it's not. But it's been in tournaments for a while, you know, and I guess it kind of went away for a little bit in some of the tournaments that we saw, but it's here at WCG, and I guess it adds a little bit more diversity. But I'm quite glad we saw it in Amazonia, because I feel like it's about as straight up as it gets. You creep a little bit in the start, and then immediately you're clashing in the middle of the map. You can't really run around and create big camps. They're going to be getting into each other's face. They're going to be fighting early on, and they're going to get us started with some action here on Amazonia for map number 1.
It's going to be a slugfest. I'm with you. A very tiny map in the grand scheme of things. Even though there's a lot of creeps, there's often a lot of action in the middle of it. Todd, I just have the biggest smile on my face, man. All these people here, they're so enthusiastic. They're so passionate about Warcraft. This is amazing. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be part of this grand final. And it is finally here on the right top side of Amazonia. We took a very quick look at the main base of Infi.
His opponent in the red, also representing China, it is TH000.
It's been a very successful World Cyber Games for China so far, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
We took a look at the medal standings, and I think all the other nations combined have less medals than China. That's pretty much how it went.
Not too much suspense there on who's going to win that. So on this map, like I mentioned, you creep for a little bit. Usually you start with your lab first, then you do a small green camp, and then you head around the middle. You can still do one of the smaller green camp with the Murlocs near your base with just militia, 5 or 6, as we saw before. And from there, you get to decide whether you want to be really aggressive and head on the other side of the map and fight the opponent, or if you want to do something completely different, maybe creep one of the other big camps, like an expansion. And I would say I'm more inclined to guess that they're both going to want to kind of run into one another and then micro footman. And they're actually two of the absolute best, like TH is known for that at saving footman, which is incredible. Like against Water Elemental level 2, he knows when to pull them back, when to escape with those very low hit points. And already we see the SimCity of Infi here. He's building a bunch of farms and all alike from TH to make sure that Water Elementals are harder to be summoned inside of his base from outside of the wall. And that's a very important thing to do in human-human, because if the other player goes to your base and wants to kill peasants, he's going to have to be able to do that in order to achieve that.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% with you. You know, there is one thing though, like if they're both save so many of their footmen, they're often this moment, right, where it's like 4 or 5 low HP footmen, and then the other player, because they know that of each other as well, then the AM shows up, and it actually becomes kind of hard to heal those footmen up again, right? Because like you're running 4 or 5 footmen away, they're all low on HP, and they often have this funny moment where you're running circles in your own base. Either way, we'll see which items these guys are going to pick up. Obviously, these are not game-deciding, game-changing items, but it is very nice to start with a little boost on your Archmage. Preferably, obviously, you want to get the intelligence items here.
Yeah. Only if it's very one-sided. Like if you find ring and then like, you know, a couple of very passive items and the opponent gets like 3 damage items, then I would say it is almost game decisive, because you fall really far behind. Like we saw Gloves of Haste up there and Tome of Intelligence. So that's a pretty good combo already in terms of like the best things that you can fight from Infi.
Oh well, at least TH is going to keep things even, Todd. He picks up a mantle. The Cloak of Shadows, obviously, I mean, yeah, it's nice if you get surrounded. Every item, of course, guys, in StarCraft 2, in case you guys don't watch the game all the time, has a purpose. There's no such thing as something being 100% useless. But obviously, certain items are just a little bit better on certain heroes. Very similar to like the MOBA setups and stuff like that. And obviously, the mantle here is a little bit nicer for TH than the cloak is for Infi.
That's a little bit unusual. Very rare for something. He's going to deny. Or not.
No. Okay, well, that's some free XP. First blood being drawn in favor of TH. A little bit sloppy there by Infi. He was busy creeping in the middle of the map. TH is doing some multitasking as well, creeping with the militia.
They're both doing that right now. It's both players got 1 damage item out of 2.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's 2 damage items out of 3.
Elemental?
For Infi, and same thing for TH. His Water Elemental gets sniped here. He gets to choose whether he wants to fight. Usually, you count footman versus footman. Right now, Infi has more footmen, so I'm a little bit surprised that TH is turning around.
He's confident in his Archmage stat, and can you blame the man with a mantle and a circlet as well? Still 1 footman being annoying on the other side of the map. That AM is being chased. He buys boots of speed very quickly. 1 footman does go down there, by the way, for TH, so that's a nice job by Infi. But Infi is never going to be able to save his own footman against this super fast Archmage.
Ooh, he's going all the way around. He wants to make sure he gets that footman.
What?
What? A little bit too far. Can he deny? Ooh, he was going to go for it.
Yeah, it was close with the elemental there as well.
The Archmage of Infi completely left the area, by the way. He went on the side of the map,
also
for the
buying
shop to
boots.
make sure he can get boots here in this case.
Yeah, that's obviously kind of painful, guys. You want to keep your hero in the fight. The hero represents the most damage and has the biggest ability to actually chase down these units and pick them up. You can see that this AM of TH actually got multiple kills now already. Immediately goes back to creeping as well. I love how decisive and fast they are. That's a Dome of Intelligence as well. That's always nice. And what else did he pick up? Another mantle, Todd.
Yeah, this is like extremely good right now. The Archmage is going to hit like a truck. Infi got there late as well, so that creep was already done. And I love how TH disengaged from the creeps. He knew he couldn't quite fight the creeps plus the army of Infi at the same time, so he just moved back. And right now Infi is not doing as well as we saw him do earlier in this tournament. I would have expected the game to kind of look the other way around, but TH is holding his own and doing really well.
Yep. He basically has everything going for himself. He does pick up the Dome.
I'll take that.
The TH left behind, and right now Infi can use every little thing. Another footman getting called in the middle of the map. That's like the 4th footman already that has gone down in this game. Infi did get a cancel there on the Arcane Vault, so that's something he can maybe work with. But I'm with you, Todd. I'm starting to get very worried. I really felt that maybe Infi should have just stuck around there with his Archmage instead of abandoning the fight. He gets that one as well.
That's a ton of experience, by the way. Like, this is really gonna add up eventually. I feel like TH is gonna be quite... Yeah, look! He's quite a bit closer to level 4 than Infi right now. They're gonna re-engage yet again. Archmage is kind of trying to get an angle on one another.
I do feel like that was the first little engagement that actually went a bit better there for Infi, because he got a couple of hits off very quickly, put some pressure on that AM. But yeah, Infi running all the way to the other side of the map to buy his own boots of speeds. Obviously, it is super important to get the boots, but he really lost multiple units trying to pick up that boots, and he wasn't able to deny or last hit anything. Footman actually very close to being surrounded as well. So definitely an early advantage here for TH. He has more experience on his hero, he has the better items, and he was able to pick up more units. But Todd, of course, I mean, this is still early game, plenty of comeback potential for Infi.
Yeah, but if the Archmage gets level 4 way earlier, this is going to be really tough to deal with. Infi did use a Clarity and Scroll Regeneration. Not sure where he's headed. Mercamp? Or does he want to do the small camp down there? Both players going to go for Mount Tanking. And yeah, once you start pumping out those priests and then those breakers, the big question becomes, who expands? Does anybody expand, or do they both play one base and creep a bunch? Footman, Water Elemental against Footman, Water Elemental happening right now in the center. TH gonna have to pull back. He may defend actually, really interesting.
I know, how do you feel about this?
It's a little bit costly, but it feels like it's helping against those Water Elementals. And what's very important is to keep the Footmen alive. You know, I already talked about this previously in the tournament. They're very important to help fight against the breakers. They're
the Elemental is not gonna get denied, and now that Archmage is incredibly close to level 4, basically just one more kill is enough here for TH.
He's gonna get it now. He's gonna go for the small camp that's down there, whereas Infi has to pull back and heal. It feels like Infi is so far away from level 4 in comparison.
He is, but I think if he just sneaks in one camp somewhere, I think he's gonna be okay. I must say, TH did a really good job though in keeping track of Infi, right? There were multiple moments where Infi clearly wanted to get a camp done very quickly, but TH was always there. Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, it gets away. But now the Footman is going to go down. And then it's still level 4, Todd. No, it's not. Footman gives no XP at all.
Yeah, not enough. Because the Mountain King's there too. And I love how you gave instantly the boots and the ringer protection here to the Mountain King to make sure it's a little bit tanky and fast enough here to help fight.
I do love this though. This is Amazonia, right? They're in each other's face. They're basically fighting in a phone booth right now. They're not giving each other an inch because they also know how good obviously their opponent is.
Yeah.
If you give them like 20 seconds, half of the map is going to be gone. You need to keep track of your opponent at all costs, all the time. And they're fighting over every little creep. There's we're fighting over. Actually, I love that Militia is showing up here immediately for Infi, and that's going to push TH back for now.
Yeah, that's something I noticed from these Chinese humans. They're always grouping peasants that are in the woods, so they're ready. They don't even need to look back at home. They just press the hotkey, rally that across the map. Level 4 is going to be achieved here from TH, whereas Infi is still quite a bit far away from that. Single and snare on one of the militia. That creep is on TH's side, I think.
Yeah, and that was a long and snare as well from way downtown. So in the end, the militia not able to really turn this battle around. The first priest have already showed up for TH. Down almost immediately.
Okay, Infi is very good with the surrounds here. He might be going for one of the heroes. It looks like the Archmage is going to be his target. Kind of forcing it to run back. That's going to be a TP forced here in a second. But TH is attacking the tunnel. TP is going to be used, but the tunnel is going to be cancelled just before TH gets out. This is a massive pickoff because now I don't know that Infi has the wood to really restart that ASAP. And TH's expansion is going to be way earlier.
Yep, I think for a second there, Infi thought about running to the other side of the map and doing the same thing, but I think he also realized that it was going to be too late. That AM is low though, and I must say it's a pretty vulnerable AM at this point as well, right? The only thing it has is +6 intelligence, which is very nice if it's healthy, but I do think that TH is playing a dangerous game here, going out without Town Portal.
Infi aborted the expansion, he sent those militia back home, so now TH is creeping the mercenary camp. I think that's going to be Mount Tanking level 3 if he pulls his Archmage back. He's going to be in such a good position, like his production is going to completely take off. He could even buy some mercenaries with the surplus gold that he's going to get. And he went for an Arcane Tower on his expansion, which is very important. It's going to make it so much easier for him to fight there. Yeah, Mount Tanking's level 3, and TH is in such a fantastic position right now. I think I see Militia going from the center of the map right now, and Infi is going to be going all in on that expansion of TH in a second.
He's going for it, Todd. Infi realized that if he plays the expand game right now, he will most likely just fall a little too far behind. I do think that 47 supply actually.
Yeah, against 57. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, mercenaries were bought. It seems like TH really picked up on it. That Archmage though, Todd, is still a pretty vulnerable target. It doesn't really have any healing at all, but there is an Arcane Tower, and the Mountain King gets stunned in range of that Arcane Tower as well. So that's a lot of lost mana immediately on the side of Infi.
Yeah, the Arcane Tower is really tough to deal with. Infi's in an impossible situation right now. Does he pull back and try to expand? Does he keep on pressing into an army that just looks way bigger than his?
I think
he might
you
just
go
get
for
desperate and go for the heroes, but even that, I mean,
he has to kill the Archmage.
Smaller.
That's the only thing he can do. He has to go for the Archmage right now, and it is a vulnerable target in a way. It's going to be chased down. The Mountain King is going to try to save the AM. Want of mana stealing being used as well. Stormbolt though, Todd, and that Archmage of TH is going to go down. Is there hope here for Infi?
Infi, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm very skeptical because he still has so little in comparison. TH is so rich that he can just instant rebuy from there. I already see a unit in the center of the map. Might just be lacking a little bit of wood to be able to do that right now, but that Mountain King is doing fine on its own, and he's gonna go for the Mountain King on Infi. The Invuln doesn't get used on time as he was still Stormbolted, and Infi's just gonna tap out. TH with a fantastic game number 1. I expected this series, or even this first map, to look completely the opposite, but TH says, you know what? I think you guys are forgetting who the GOAT is.
A very explosive game 1 here of our grand finals. I really think though, Todd, like, you know, it's often about momentum, right, and setting the pace of the game. And I think the first big skirmish, it seemed very even across the board, but TH immediately ran to that shop towards the left. He picked up the boots, and Infi is like, well, if he gets boots, I'm definitely going to need to get boots as well to chase down this footman. But he had to run all the way to the right side of the map, and I feel from that point on, it was an uphill battle for Infi.
Yeah, and then what did he do? He chased the Archmage away, and instead of chasing way too far, he said, well, your Archmage is going away, I can just creep this camp, or like at least this one creep here at this camp quick and get an extra item, gets an extra damage item than his opponent, and he definitely capitalized big time on that. After that, he kept on getting good trades, and Infi just a little bit sloppy at times, to be honest, like that one footman on the left-hand side that got caught, you know, like overextending in some of these fights. After that, it was all TH. TH definitely got a better item, by the way, at the Expo. Like the mana steal against Scroll the Beast. Like, I mean, Scroll the Beast. It's only as good as 200 gold here in these situations. Scroll the Beast is only ever good if you fast expand. Both players fast expand, and then you buy a ton of mercenaries. Then okay, but other than that, like, in this game, felt totally useless.
But in TH's defense, I think by then he already created a very decent advantage for himself, right? It definitely wasn't like, oh no, he got the better item, now he gets ahead, because he simply had the better early game, and I think he had the better mid game as well. We saw how much quicker his AM got level 4, and that's not a game-changing level, but it is a very nice little advantage to have. And that obviously allowed him to get the MK to level 3 very quickly as well. I kind of like the move in the end there by Infi to go for the Archmage, because that was the weakest and vulnerable target. It was, I think, his only play. He got the job done, but then that Mountain King is like, I don't need no AM. That's a strong, independent Mountain King, Todd. He doesn't need an old man on a horse to win a battle.
I've wanted to prove myself forever, and now I get a shot at it. I'll take it. I really have to commend TH though on his decision making. Attacking the tunnel at the Expo was actually massive. I feel like so many players here, myself included, would have just gone for the units. And I mean, maybe he might have had enough to win the fight, but there would have been militia coming and all that. He saw the hit points on the tunnel and he said, you know what, I can kill that. He went for it, got it just before the TP dream scenario, and then behind this, I think Infi might not have had enough wood. Because you lose so much wood, even if you cancel the last second, you know, like your economy is in shambles after that. So Infi just said, well, I just can't expand from there. I'm just going to be too far behind, so I'll play the one base, but TH completely ready for that. He broke up keep immediately as well. He knew this could be coming.
Yeah, that was really smart because Infi was basically making a game-ending, you know, and an all-out push. He basically threw the kitchen sink, but he had 10 supply less. You know, the funny thing is though that I do think TH played a dangerous game there near that expand. I obviously love everything that he did, but if that Archmage gets bashed one more time, then suddenly he's stuck on the other side of the map. And at that point, I really don't think he could win a fight ever without the level 4 AM. So it was a tiny bit dangerous, but he got the job done. The timing on the town porter in the end was perfect. Taking a look at this beautiful WCG trophy. You know, Todd, I gotta be honest, when the tournament came back and I looked at the logo, I'm like, not sure if I'm feeling it. But now actually it really grew on me. I really like the WCG logo.
Everything. And these jerseys?
Yeah, everything is awesome.
These really jerseys are insane. They've got everything. Flags, the player's name on the back. I love these jerseys.
But there's one thing.
I need to qualify next year, Roddy, all right?
All right. I will gladly be casting you once again, Todd. I don't care what you play. I always want to cast you. You know, as we are getting ready for Game 2 here on the Ancient Isles, I do say though, Todd, there's one thing missing, and that's a Game 3. So you know what? I'm going to be biased over here. Come on, Infi. And I don't care who wins Game 3, but I do want to see 3 games.
Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. Starting in the bottom right-hand side of the map. Playing as the red human, we've got TH000.
With his beautiful pink keyboard as well.
Oh yeah, and his Taidu mouse and mousepad, of course. Taidu, one of the sponsors here. Sky is present, representing it.
I really hope we get presents from Sky again. That was awesome.
We didn't ask. Yeah, I don't think it's planned, but if we ask, is it really a present if you ask?
No, exactly. And then it feels less special.
Do we care?
You can't really go around and be like, yeah, I've got a really cool mount. They're like, how do you get it? Like, yeah, I basically begged for it from Sky. But it's very cooler. It's like, you remember Sky, the 2-time WCG champion? He gifted me one of his mice. Like, that's amazing. That's a story, Todd. Can go around begging for mice. He's actually sitting just a couple meters away from us, guys. The Chinese people have a TriCast with Snowkiss, Sky, and
Xiaoling.
Xiaoling.
I don't know if it's Xiao or Xiao, yeah. Something like that.
I have no idea.
That's pretty cool too.
No, actually the Chinese casters here have been super nice to us as well. Been joking around a little bit with them. It's awesome.
All right, so on this map, I expect more of the same, but maybe less necessarily clash early on, because you can definitely go around the opponent. Maybe there's a couple riskier creeps, like for example the mercenary camp, which if you can get, you're going to be in a fantastic spot. But what you worried about if you do that is the opponent counter-attacking and doing a ton of damage in your base, which is why we're going to see an arcane tower from both players, I'm going to guess. And chances of expansion, or like fast expansion on one base, very, very low on this map, I would say, but expansion on tier 2 is still going to be a very strong thing to do if you have Mountain King second and you're making units from double Arcane Sanctum.
You know, before we take a look at how they are going to creep exactly, what I think is funny actually is that I felt that TH obviously had all the momentum in Game 1 and he really dictated the pace. But if you think about it, not a single fight took place near Infi's main base, right? There was zero harassment in that department. It was all about the map and it was all about the creeps. Yeah. And obviously he chased down a couple of footmen, but not a single time did TH's army actually show up in Infi's main base.
Yeah, it's kind of the standard on Amazonia. That's why I said we're going to have an action-packed game and we're going to get action from the start, is because with the way the map is set up, once you've done the small camps near your base, you only have bigger camps left. So then you're kind of meant to clash in the center with the way the map is set up, because otherwise the opponent is in the center and then he can quickly rotate to wherever you are, anywhere around the center. Whereas on this map, you got so many different paths and all that. He might be able to get that, actually.
Yeah, militia. Well, he should have denied it there as well. Actually, a bit surprised by that. What did TH pick up? A Gloves of Haste. It is something for the AM, but I definitely prefer the Claws of Attack that Infi was able to pick up on the top side of the map. But that's the second game in a row, right, where TH is able to get one peasant kill very quickly.
Yeah.
And obviously this doesn't determine the outcome of the game, but I do feel as a player it's so nice, right, to start a game, especially when the stakes are this high, when you get one of those cheeky early game kills and you're like, all right, I'm feeling good, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. It's, sometimes it can already kind of set up some sort of momentum very early on in the game. Obviously, we can't read too much into it.
No, I know.
Both these players are great. They know how to come back in this kind of game. They're both going to go for the mercenary camp, actually, trying to get these guys early on.
What's your dream item here, Todd, from the Drake?
Probe of Magi.
Yeah. I was going to go the same way.
He's taking a lot of damage on his Scroll Priest, actually. Ooh, Infi. Was he maybe trying to steal one of his mercenaries here with the Footman? That's really sick. If you can steal the Troll Berserker and you run away, like, your army is just so much more powerful.
All right, Vampiric Aura. The crowd is going like, oh, and it always looks very powerful, but in the end it's only useful for the footmen here, right? Yeah. And eventually the footies will fall off as well, so it's not actually good forever. armor all around the other side of the map for Infi.
It used to be really bad when it was 1 armor, but now that it's 2, I think it's actually very decent. Like
it's probably even better than the Vampiric one, right?
Yeah, it might be. I mean,
in this situation, in this matchup.
Yeah. You might still sell it though. Like, I mean, that 200 gold that you get can still come in pretty handy. But I would say it's definitely worth keeping now. Before it was like a clear sell in a lot of scenarios.
Hey, did Infi not pick up the mercenaries, by the way? I only saw the priest, right? I don't think he picked up the berserker.
Maybe he wanted to take a little bit earlier, which has its pros. You know, obviously, if you avoid the fight, if you know that the opponent has both of them, and he does. Okay, no, he did get it.
Alright, he picked up Wand of Illusions there as well. So Goblin Merchant being creeped by Infi. Meanwhile, TH is taking away a couple of creeps of Infi's side of the map, so this is always a big deal.
Fight.
But obviously Infi is slightly more. Fake AM is getting spawned. That AM of TH is way too far in the front. He's got to disengage immediately. I feel like Infi really wants to get the middle creeps here as well, but you got to be a bit careful there, Infi. Don't get too over-eager.
It feels like he's contesting, because he knew that TH was going to go for the other one.
Obviously, it's very nice to have a Wand of Illusion so you can keep track of your opponent's army and you can see their movement. TH is gonna...
Yeah, this Wand of Illusion would have been awesome. He's just kind of staying on him.
Do you think he can go for the camp right now with the Gnolls in the middle here? Since TH's units are pretty far out of position.
Yeah, if he's far enough, yeah, you can, because you can kill the 2 small ones very fast.
There's a Berserker now as well, guys, by the way, on the side of Infi.
By the way, TH is getting a farm on the bottom left-hand side of the map at the mercenary camp that was created by Infi, and I don't think Infi got one there, so he might be getting a ton of mercs there eventually.
That's actually kind of nice. He got the Elemental almost immediately.
Yeah, TH is creeping with his units by themselves, and he's harassing with just his Archmage to try and steal some stuff.
But it's not actually going that well, right? So far, I think Infi did everything well, and he even got an extra Elemental. So this time, Infi actually has the XP lead. Want to make sure that this one doesn't get stolen, and does it. Another clause of attack over here. Level 4 Archmage for Infi. I actually think if Infi pushes now, look at the amount of damage that TH took there. Sure, it was a really cool move.
Yeah, but he doesn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
And TH will be using...
he might be able to snap some of the mercenaries that are being bought. TH knows about the army though of Infi. Infi scouts, and he also... Now he saw, by the way, that was being grabbed. He actually goes for the red camp over here.
Yeah, and that's what Elemental sees that.
Yeah.
They both went for defense, which on this map makes sense. There's quite a few piercing creeps here. You see those 3.
TH is coming, but I actually don't think he's going to be in time, even though that Elemental is going to try to be as annoying as possible. You got to be decisive in Infi. You're just going to go straight for it. Infi does go for it. He picks up a Book of the Dead. Maybe if you use it now, it's actually not that bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, usually the opponent would just run away. That Troll Priest is going to go down here. TH looking to try and maybe land a Surround on Archmage. Book of the Dead is used. He's going to use Abolish on some of these guys. The Troll Berserker taking a ton of damage. Archmage being attacked on the other side. Neither player so far grabbing a second hero.
Gonna pick up the priest. Infi, that is. Infi does get a kill on one of the priests there. So I guess that actually turned out alright for Infi, even though he took a lot of hero damage. So he's got to be a bit careful. But taking away the item and such a big creep on the other side of the map, that's always awesome.
And then from there, Infi might resume the creeping already. That would be pretty ambitious considering his Archmage is still fairly low. Mountain King's Fanny there. And this time, he might be... Okay. The Kid Tower kind of... Oh my god! No way. Castle? He's going for Castle. I talked about this a lot previously. It's very, very hard to win currently in human with Castle, but TH knows that Infi is playing standard. He's going to be grabbing a ton of Breakers, Priest, and right now he's seeing the expansion being crept. He's going to know. Crystal Ball is a big deal, by the way, to scout this and adapt immediately, in which case, I mean, if the opponent doesn't go for double Arcane Sanctum, and you do, you can just get a ton of Breakers, get Magic Control, and then steal all of their Water Elementals, and then it's just so hard for them to win. If they get Knights, you make Sorceresses. It's a really tough matchup for TH to pull this off, I feel like.
So would you say that at the moment Infi sees this, he should go for all-out aggression and maybe just try to end the game?
Yeah, just like keep him busy, make sure you get your expansion up.
Look at the minimap, Todd. He is actually running towards his main base, even though the AM is a bit low. He might be able to get a snipe on this Arcane Fault very quickly, and he will also see that the castle is on the way, that Blacksmith is quite exposed as well.
TH brought a Zeppelin, I think. Yeah, he's gonna unload everything in the main base and send some units in the expansion as well. I see 2 units going towards the expansion of Infi. He could even buy the Ogre from the Mer camp and send that there. So he's gonna force, I mean, this is weird because he's the one
base. It's gonna get very, very wild, but I do think that Infi is gonna commit a little bit longer because I think he showed up way quicker, so he should be able to get more of these militia. He gets the tower there as well, and that means that all of these peasants and militia are sitting ducks, and your castle might be done, TH, but you're not gonna have a lot of workers left.
Yeah, tier 3 is gonna be completely useless in this situation. He doesn't have any gold to spend it on anything. A couple units at the expansion being annoying as well. Infi evacuated the main. The castle is going to be falling pretty fast. I mean, the army of Infi was looking pretty damn good.
Wow.
That base wasn't even finished yet, though.
These footmen actually got like 5 kills, by the way, so absolutely massive
I feel
job
like
there.
TH should just TP because he's on castle tech, and he could fight with militia here for a little bit, but there's just so much on his side of the map.
Yeah,
Who's gonna TP first? Who's gonna?
I actually think that the fight is gonna take place at the expand. I think they will. I mean, TH might TP to his castle, but do you think he wins the fight, Kata? Because I don't think he wins the fight.
It's tough. Like,
I mean,
I don't know how much mana is Priest has.
okay, he's gonna go for it, but he literally only has 3 militia left. Here is the town portal.
Keep it down.
Yeah.
That's
defensive
good.
one.
Oh my god, he gets level 5! Oh, this is massive.
Why does he TP? He could have just run away. But there's level 5 on the
He's trying
side.
to catch this. Oh, wait, what? TP'd far away. So the main tunnel... What the hell? How did TH somehow
Kill the main.
salvage this position? Because now he's on castle tech.
Yeah,
against a non-tech human. Like, if he just goes for Paladin, remakes shop, and then grabs, like, orb and staff, he's in a sick position. If he gets one single knight, imagine against, like, the army that Infi has.
I mean, Infi has a level 5 AM as well, though, Todd. I actually still kind of like it for Infi. I think if Infi just goes for a big fight right now, you look at his AM, it's way stronger. Because that TH has castle tech, but he can't do much with it because he barely has any gold. Took a lot of damage. Here we go, either
He
way.
doesn't have clap yet.
This is a very big fight, guys. Level 2 Mountain King is incoming as well for TH, but it's already there for Infi.
And actually, TH is fighting a little bit eagerly here. Gets clapped finally. I think he's going to have to clap a lot into this footman to make sure he takes them out ASAP here, because footman defense going to be so annoying against this many piercing units here. With the mercenaries plus the water elemental, they both summon at the same time and around the same place. I don't know if TH is getting anything, but I'm going to guess if he gets a paladin here, this will be so helpful in this fight. But he's running out of footmen much faster than Infi.
Yep, he's losing the majority of his footmen. That is another big clap, though. That does connect with almost all of the units of Infi. But these priests, dude, are doing a tremendous job there in the back line of this damage. Or this fight, rather. And they have prevented so much damage. Really good pickup there with the footman. He denied the Stormbolt.
And he didn't have the gold to get a paladin. So he's not really getting anything. Use some militia. He needs something. He needs to hold on. He's going to try to evacuate the Zeppelin.
That's very
Still
risky.
taking damage.
Yeah.
He was remaking peasants this whole time.
Yep. I mean, he lost so many of them. He only had 4 left.
Oh, he's making a blacksmith, I think, at the back. He was trying to get to some knights.
Yeah. Well, this castle is going to have to get repaired soon. I mean, it's obviously a very, very tanky building.
TH is so close to having enough food and gold to be able to make a paladin, but he just spent it on something. I don't know what. Maybe a priest or a breaker. I like the choice of standing behind the wall here.
Yeah. But loses another footman, though.
Yeah, there's just so many priests on Infi's side, and he's just going to get a ton of Soul Cresses. This is what I was talking about. Even if a knight comes out now, it's going to get slowed, and there's not going to be breakers to really send that back. It's going to be for those priests to do the work. TH doing a good job of buying time, but Infi not really overcommitting, pulling back, letting his priest heal. He's going to go for the surround. I mean,
there is a Zeppelin. There is a Zeppelin, but it's going to take a lot of damage. Gets focused immediately. Oh my goodness, TH, that was close. I mean, he does save it for now, but one more footman does get slowed, gets picked up. That's level 3 Mountain King, though, Todd.
Started the Pala. Infi sees it. He goes straight for the altar. He's saying, you have to come out right now and fight me. Otherwise, you're going to be in big, big trouble. And I think TH is not going to have any choice but to try and save that. Troll Berserker gets taken out very quickly here. TH, you have to move out. You have to defend that altar. You have to get your Paladin.
But if he moves out, Todd, he's going to get Stormbolted for days. That's the level 3 Mountain King. That doesn't mess around, okay? It's out for blood. The footman is going to push those peasants away as well. Then Paladin will spawn. So TH bought enough time. But I would much rather have the level 3 MK here. I must say TH is doing whatever he can. I think he's doing a really good job. But I love the relentless pressure from Infi. And this Paladin, Todd, takes an insane amount of damage immediately. Gets bashed as well. And it goes down almost immediately. So much for that Paladin. I mean, look at the amount of spellcasters there in the back line for Infi.
Yeah, and the problem for TH, he has no Arcane Vault. He can't even make any breakers to send back some of these slows Infi's way. Infi in a dominant position right now, sieging the base of TH. That's exactly what he needed to do to win this game, and he realized that. Moved across the map, his priests are just healing everything. It just feels like he's not going to be losing any units anytime soon. I see some mercenaries being bought on the bottom left-hand side of the map. I don't think it's even going to matter. Those 2 Troll Berserkers doing a ton as well.
Every Stormbolt is just a dead unit, right? And if you only work with 5 or 6 units, that's such a big deal. I just don't see any DPS right now on this side. I mean, the fact that the footmen are still alive for Infi is actually so freaking useful. He still has that Berserker, 2 Berserkers even. What is he going to do? Sell the Crystal Ball, maybe?
Yeah, he scans one last time. Maybe make sure he gets like 1 healing scroll or 2 to make sure he doesn't lose too much.
He revealed the expand.
Oh, he bought Tome of Retraining, so I think he wants Blizzard. I mean, there's no breakers. everything that
Yeah,
TH is
that's
just
sick.
like blizzard the peasant line.
Yeah, exactly. You can just stand on the north side of the castle. It's like, you want to stay in the back of your base? That's fine. It's going to be a rainy day.
You make sure you stay there.
Yes. Oh, I love this actually. And obviously Stormbolt will cancel Blizzard. That's a really, really cool move. Here we go, guys. Level 3 Blizzard as well. That hits like a truck. And I love how he Stormbolts the Mountain King. So right now TH can't even prevent it. TH will clap, but look at that castle even thought it's taking an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, a healing ward is going to be used here at the back, but TH running out of forces here. Mountain King at the front.
Oh, I love
He's going to try to chase this back a little bit. Water Elemental's completely useless against that many priests. The Blizzard lands massively in the middle of everything. Infi still barely has lost any unit here, maybe like 1 footman or 2, but he doesn't care at this point. And those peasants, they're mining for only so long. The healing ward actually helping a lot against this, but
Yeah.
he will snipe that there eventually, and Infi is about to close the show and get the equalizer here in game number 2.
I feel like in the last 3 minutes, TH hasn't killed a unit. And that's not because TH is bad. That's just because Infi is doing everything that he's supposed to do. He's doing it right. He's getting the mercenaries as well. There's one more healing ward. It's obviously important. The AM takes it out immediately. And that's it for the wards. Now it's basically just a couple of priests. TH refuses to give up. Now even the farm stopped. The farm's going down.
Yeah, TH not safe anywhere, especially not inside of his main base.
Almost level
Infi's
6.
pulling back.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to lose the ogre over there, and I think that makes sense, right? Whoa, okay. TH picked up an ogre
Tonight
as
we
well.
fight back.
All right, his Mountain King though, the Mountain King gets stunned there as well. Lands a Stormbolt, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Todd, we're getting game 3. That was an awesome game, by the way. That was actually, I really loved it. Loved the early game skirmishes. I love once again how decisive Infi was in his creeping, taking away big creeps on the other side of the map. And then we had that, I mean, the base trade, that's where things got wild. But I really love the way that Infi salvaged that crisis.
Absolutely. I really thought that TH, once he had killed the main base and then TP'd and defended, he had it because he was already tier 3. And I mean, if you're tier 3 against a tunnel tech human, you're doing pretty well usually, but maybe I overestimated the amount of gold that he was getting at the time. He had to remake a lot of peasants. Yeah. Losing his Arcane Vault was obviously really bad. And you need both Lumber Mill and Blacksmith to be able to make knights. Yeah. And even if he makes them, there are still sorceresses that can be made on the other side of the map. So I feel like even just Arcane Vault would have made a massive difference. He would have had Orb, he would have had the Staff. Paladin being made earlier could have changed the game. And I think that TH fought too early for sure at that small camp near his base when Infi moved there and was looking to engage immediately. If he had just pulled back about a little bit more time, might have been able to do better, but this is why you don't go castle tech in human-human. It's just so hard to actually make it worth it and beat your opponent with it.
I think it's so funny how impactful those little footmen can still be, right? It's 10-12 minutes into the game, and we often look at the footman as an early game unit. It's useful for creeping, and obviously you need it to survive. But after that, you can get rid of it, and it's all about the other units. But in wild games, in scrappy games like that one, I think the end there, that Infi had 4 or 5 footmen, just made it so much nicer for him. TH could never get close to the spellcasters, he couldn't get close to the berserkers, and then obviously the moment that Infi got the level 3 MK quite a bit before, I mean, TH never even got it, I think, in the first place.
Yeah.
I think level 3 MK is so big there. Level 2 Stormbolt is just a guaranteed kill on almost everything you want to kill, and that's just amazing. When the unit count is that low, and you can take off a unit every 7-8 seconds, I mean, that's a sweet dream, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Infi knew exactly what he needed to do, and he went for it here. That unstoppable push. You can only feel super helpless in this kind of game here as TH, because you're standing behind your wall and you're like, well, what do I do? I mean, I'm already microing to my full potential, but he just has more, and he has a more sustainable army that is simply not dying. And Water Elementals can save you here. Once there is that many priests, they're just gonna, feed a ton of XP to the opponent. Not gonna quite do enough here to push them back. So I expect TH to maybe go back to more standard play, but guess what? We're not even on that standard map, Rotty. We're on the last refuge. A map on which fast expansion is possible, and you got mercenaries available early on.
A very, very big map as well, which may actually mean that we get a slightly slower paced game at first, but it could also set up for fireworks and just a lot of spectacular action down the line. If they both manage to creep up quite a bit in the beginning of the game, and they both get their arcane systems up and running, and maybe even that expand, like you said, there is a good chance, Todd, that we're gonna see an epic human versus human here. Hopefully neither of these two guys is going to be too aggressive, because I'd love to see this one being dragged out a little bit. Give me a 20-minute game as a decider, and then all of these people in this magnificent building will be very happy.
I mean, they'll fight, like, not too late for sure, right? On this map, it's not like you can creep forever and like
quick level 3 though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Like usually on this map, you either start with Mercenary Camp or the small green camp near your base, unless you want to get crazy and you creep the expansion first. But in Human, I don't think it's that good. And they both really like Mercenaries, so I wouldn't be surprised if they both kind of went for it.
Yeah. I mean, the Mercenaries are so freaking good, right? The Priest early on, obviously with the Ball is Magic, you get a lot of damage on the Elementals. And the Elemental kills, they really stack up as well. I think in the first game that TH was able to win, he got like 3 or 4 of those Elementals rather quickly.
Yeah.
And that also gave him that level 4 so much faster than Infi got it.
But I think it's also the way you pull the camp. It makes it so much more worth it. Like nowadays, I see these guys pull the Rock Golem away from the camp with one single footman, and then the Rock Golem doesn't stumble, like there is no slow cast from the Mud Golem. And then I'm like, there is a very strong argument for not ever creeping anything else than the Mer camp first, just because it's so good that you're able to achieve that and not take really too much damage on your units, if any at all, other than the Water Elementals being taken down early. But actually, as I say that, they're both counting across the map, so that means that their first footman is not going to be there to pull that Rock Golem that I just talked about away.
What if Infi is going to just... What if they're just trying to mess each other's creeping up? I feel like that's what Infi is going to try to do.
They're both going to do the green camp, maybe? Or no, TH is running to the Mercenary camp.
But he also
just doesn't pull it away. All right. I mean...
Where's the footman, by the way, of Infi? Is it in the main base? Actually, it's being annoying in the main base. Yeah. This is quite nice, because obviously a bunch of militia is already out of position right now to creep. So I actually kind of like it. The footman of TH is going to be a little bit later.
Okay, are these guys finding anything else but damage items? Like, this is ridiculous.
Was it claws on both sides, or?
Like, Infi fought claws. I don't know yet about TH, but... How about the Zlotot rings?
Oh my goodness. Well, Todd, you want a damage item, you get a damage item, okay? That is a sweet dream right there.
The absolute best item, in my opinion. Here.
Mental. Ah, Slippers of Agility.
Yeah. Slippers of Agility is awesome. You attack faster. Like, anything like this is still counts as damage for me because you attack quicker.
All right, one footman is actually putting quite a bit of pressure on these peasants. Of course, once again, both these guys have already won the World Cyber Games in their career. Infi winning 10 years ago, and he's still on top in this game, 2009. TH winning the last edition of the World Cyber Games 6 years ago. So you could become the back-to-back. And obviously, there is one man who has won the World Cyber Games twice already. Well, actually, that's 2 people. But one man from China, a human player as well. Todd, what is it with the Chinese humans? Is there something in the water over here?
Well, I think it's with the Chinese in general. They're pretty good with multiple races, but yeah, definitely mostly with humans. I don't know. I feel like Sky inspired an entire generation to just keep on getting better, and they've had a lot of incredible players since then. Okay, finally we're finding some non-damage items. You have Vampiric on one side, Ring of Protection on the other.
I'm kind of happy that he got a ring though, to be honest, because like with the +6 Rope of Magi, it's such a good item early on. Like, I don't want it to snowball too far.
I was worried about Infi. If Infi found Rope of Magi here, I mean, we might almost call the game already. He just goes across the map and kills everything. Maybe he feels a little bit spicy and buys a circlet at the shop, you know?
Yeah.
On the way.
With speed as well, why not? Gonna take a look at it.
God.
TH picks
See,
up
that's
another
a Todd
ring.
build now.
Yeah, Todd build. I mean, Todd, he does have a very tanky AM right now, okay? You can stand there for days.
And actually, TH wants to expand.
6
and
armor.
Infi wants to play aggressive towards it. Usually I favor the guy that's expanding, but right now, the Troll Priest is gonna get jumped on top of.
The footman actually, yeah, well, actually, TH turning this around. He gets the kill very quickly there on the Priest. That is a very big deal. I'm not sure where the Priest is of TH, but I think it's still alive. Okay, it's sitting over here in the back line. It's healing itself.
You're right, that Archmage is tanky. He targeted it for a little bit. Didn't lose that much HP. Gonna head straight for those peasants building the expansion. This is the way you need to counter it. Actually goes for the tunnel. He knows that he has enough damage to be able to take this.
Easy.
I like the quick cancel because then you get a lot more gold and wood back, and he can make sure he can restart that here ASAP very soon, finally, after chasing the army away of Infi.
Well, Infi takes a lot of damage on his AM. He does have a potion though, which he can pop as soon as he's out of battle. He really wants to get that troll, but he's not going to get it. I must say, TH got like 2 kills on elementals though. That does really stack up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You level 4, getting level 4 earlier is just so massive here. Did you see that Troll Berserker headbutt the other Troll?
Yeah, I thought he was going to block it for a bit, and I was like, well, then you're going to lose your own Troll Berserker. And
I thought he was going to take it down, double leg and everything.
Ooh, only one.
Pound and pound.
What's happening there? He's got no lumber, right? 0 lumber.
No, he just started it.
Forces are under attack.
He cancelled early enough that he got a good amount of lumber back. Okay, finally, he needs to cancel that.
Priest! Alright, so that's a Priest for a Priest. Now both players were able to take down a Priest. That's really nice.
There's one more available usually around this time.
That was super nice timing though there by Infi. Otherwise,
he's going to get a neutral. I think he's going to get a neutral second hero and push maybe Panda or Alchemist. Yeah.
All right.
Nowadays, it's all about that guy here.
Oh, and that Troll Berserker is actually quite low already. Bramble Fire being used almost immediately. The Troll does get saved, but took a lot of damage. TH is gonna have a tough time getting this expand up and running, Todd.
It is Militia, and remember that expansion is still building. This time you can't target the tunnel.
There's no tower here.
Yeah, you can't really go for the peasant either. I mean, on paper, you're supposed to have enough to defend on the ground, but there's so many footmen. He made so many footmen with defend here. Infi with an insane push. His claws and damage items are putting in a ton of work. The Panda with Breath of Fire is just so scary against a fully weak army against it.
Oh my goodness, there's so many units going down already in the side of TH. He's gonna bring over the police. I mean, yes, this expand is now sort of up and running, but he can't stay around here, Todd. He can't fight. The only thing he has is that Archmage, and he's gonna be able to pick up a few more mercenaries. But actually, if I was Infi, I would just stand and fight. I think the only thing Infi is kind of worried about is his own Archmage. That priest is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is so expensive for TH, though.
I like him pulling back here because he knows the timing on Militia and he knows that it's gonna expire soon. And then he can be the chaser, he can be the one killing those peasants. And by the way, that's costing a lot of wood to his opponent. TH needs the sun to rise here, because then he can buy the Ogre from the mercenary camp and fight with that. But I feel like even with that, it's just going to be so hard. He just doesn't quite have enough right now. And there's a level 4 so much earlier from his opponent. Level 2 Panda now as well.
Oh,
he needs Militia to come back into the fight. He needs the sun to rise so he can buy the Ogre.
I mean, he needs anything right now. His AM is taking a lot of damage. He does have those 2 rings, of course, but this is just a disaster, man. Like, there's really almost nothing that TH can do, I feel. He just simply doesn't have the DPS. He doesn't have the units here. He wants to put pressure on that AM, but now his own Archmage is forced to run away once again, and that Panda Todd has a boots of speed.
Yeah, and it's a pretty scary one. He's gonna catch up. He's gonna catch up. Hit, then Breath of Fire. Oh my god.
He needs to hit like one more time. I mean, that's... Oh my goodness, he's still tier 1, Todd. TH is still tier 1. He finds a footman, he finds the troll there as well. I don't know if he can get it. I think he can. I mean, there are more mercenaries fighting still. But this expand, I think it's dead. I really don't see a way how TH can defend it. He's got no tower here.
Yeah, he's losing everything right now. TH needs to... I think he was healing in the meantime, but no, he's just gonna tap out. And Infi is your WCG 2019 champion.
10 years ago, he was your gold medalist winner in Chengdu. Right now, Todd, in 2019, he does it once again. And again, he went down 0-1 in the grand final. But he shows us he's a veteran and how mentally strong he is. I mean, he almost made it look easy in the final game, Todd. He was just like, TH, my friend, what are you doing? You think I'm not going to punish you for an expand like that? I absolutely will. Infi is going to pick up his second gold medal, and boy, that must feel so good.
Oh, it must. After game 1, it would have been so easy for him to falter, to maybe feel like it's going to be a really tough task. Stayed in it, stayed focused, and under all the pressure in the world in that game number 2, went for the correct push. And he pulls it off. A proud Chinese human player.
As he should be. Look at Sky. Sky looks so proud as well. He's like, oh my goodness. He's like, once upon a time, that was me. I used to run flags like this on the stage. He's like, you know what? I did inspire these nerds, didn't I? Sky looked over it. He gave the nod of approval. He saw it was good. That was, I think, a really fun Warcraft 3 tournament overall. But Todd, I'm absolutely not surprised that Infi got the job done here. Even when he was on the ropes and he was a little bit of trouble. I mean, that final game, that was 8 minutes of what I almost felt like was total domination by Infi.
And he microed so well. He did like all the right moves. Went for the mercenaries at the back, went for the tunnel. It's almost as if like he knew that this had started this late, because sometimes you can start a tunnel a little bit earlier and then it's going to be that much harder to target that. You have to go for the peasants, but then the defender has like a little bit of an advantage. Or so I thought. Infi today showed difference with perfect timing and decision making in those last 2 games. Able to claim himself another trophy.
2 flags for 2 gold medals, Todd. Imagine if he keeps on winning. Eventually he's going to end up with like 3 or 4 flags over there, but
he's gonna wear a robe.
he's gonna be all dressed up. This is gonna be his entire outfit. He's gonna be like,
he's gonna get a tattoo on his face.
Yeah, you may as well. I would absolutely I would get a 2-time tattoo. If I win 2 WCGs, he can officially call himself the 2-time, just like Sky can.
I gotta say though, I was very impressed by the level of this tournament. You know, it's like very easy to watch and you like be like, oh yeah, no, there's this mistake being made here and there, but then you see a couple of these guys play and like the very little amount of mistakes that they make is actually insane. Yeah. Like how good that they are playing.
Well, what I love the most is when you watch these super high-level Warcraft 3 games, it's not even about necessarily the micro that's happening, but it's like the pre-micro, right? Like it's all about making sure that units are not in a vulnerable spot. They're moving units before the opponent can even think about target them, because they also see what the opponent sees, of course. It's like, I know you're good, I know you're going to go for that, so they pull everything away. The way they spread those units, the way they zone themselves, or the way they go into those fights, it is absolutely a joy to watch. And I'm with you. I thought we saw amazing games between Infi and Hawk earlier in this tournament. The TH000 series was absolutely fantastic. And I think this final was definitely very tense and exciting, but Infi is just so clutch, man.
They really do optimize everything. The way they design their base, you know, everything is very well calculated, all the timings and everything. That was an amazing finals here. We finally got a 3 map. Yep,
we got map 3. That's what we wanted. Would have loved to see Last Refuge go for a little bit longer. But you know what? I like a winner as well. And to me, it felt like a winner all tournament long. In the beginning of the weekend, a lot of people looking at Lolai, at Moon, and of course TH as well. Everyone's like, TH is the best player in the world right now. And obviously, I mean, he got the silver medal, which is still really impressive.
Yeah.
But after seeing like the round robin, all those best of 3s, these guys going up against each other, I was like, well, guys, like I'm gonna go with Infi, man. Like Infi looks super clutch. Like I said, he might not even always be the most entertaining player, even though he had a couple of really fun best of 3s early in the tournament. But like, he just knows when to win. He sees opportunities and he grabs them immediately with both hands, and he doesn't let go anymore. So
only lost the 1 series to Hawk. I guess Hawk got that. At least he can say I'm the only one who beat the champ in a pretty impressive series. Actually, actually even like Hunter won quite a few maps. And only Side, I feel like, really had a rough tournament. But
apparently Side had an amazing best of 3 against Infi, actually, which was one of the very first series of the tournament.
Yeah, in terms of maps and like wins, he didn't get too many, but he definitely had some close games as well. So
I mean, Infi
that made for a very entertaining tournament.
Yeah, Infi definitely had to work for it, right? Let's not pretend that it came easy to him. He had to dig pretty deep in that round robin already, because it was fierce. And I mean, we even lost one of our Korean players in the round robin. And then, of course, in the semifinals, he had to rematch the only man that beat him in that round robin. But he showed us that, like, no, playoffs, Infi is a different beast.
It was a fluke.
Yeah.
Kind of what he would say, I think, like if he had to talk about it.
He looked like, when he lost that series against Hawk, he looked pretty visibly tilted as well.
Yeah?
He's just like, what is happening? You know, because he knows that it shouldn't have happened at one point, because he did get himself in a good position as well. Overall, I'm definitely at peace with seeing Infi win another World Cyber Games.
Absolutely, completely deserves it. And hopefully we'll see him back. Maybe the
3-time?
Not the 3-peat, but the 3-time. That'd be pretty crazy.
He'd be the first one ever to do it if he can pick up 3 gold medals. I mean,
with how good he is, like
if you can win in 2009 and 2019, Todd, why wouldn't you be able to win in
2029?
Oh my god! No, but then he's got 7 gold medals, mate. Like if he keeps going like that, I love to see how good Infi still is. For me, this was an absolute joy, an absolutely amazing tournament to be part of. Obviously, we want to give a massive shout out to the Back to Warcraft guys as well. Neo is somewhere above Russia right now, I think. He's already flying home. Remo, I think, is on his way to the airport. But it was a pleasure to bring you guys this tournament together with them. And I think that's it, Todd. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully see you next year.